We are live. So say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is about fascination, about being fascinated by something we as human beings don't necessarily uniquely own, right? I've seen cats fascinated by a laser pointer, all right? But I do think our ability to be fascinated is explosive, creative, capable of changing things. Uh, it's maybe I should connect it as well to the topic of obsession, all right? Maybe fascination and obsession are like siblings, and they live in the same house. And if you start hanging out to a fascination, obsession is gonna be more likely to play along. All right, that makes total sense, right? And in this making of total sense, is obsession a good thing? Is obsession a good thing? Is fascination a good thing? I believe so. I do believe so, but I don't know if obsession is necessarily a good thing. I have been very obsessed as a person, as a way of being. Right? Obsession has served me well. However, I also acknowledge that my obsession arises from almost a need for it. Right? That obsession came first for me, and fascination came after. And I'm trying to like flip the script, at least in my own mind, to think of it like a fascination first, obsession second. This is some blue dream I have in here. And yeah, tell me what you think about that. Are you obsessed with something right now? Am I obsessed with something right now? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't actually think so. Other than this, of course. That instantly brings me a state of calm. Part of me felt like I was a little bit extra for a second there. I got a reply. So from December, you don't have a car. Technically, yes. Technically, technically, this is a yes from me. That is right. Sorry for this. It's the person that I sent a message about doing house sitting for. They connect people that go on vacation with people that are jobless. Part of me wants to joke about this, but that kind of is the situation. That is right. To get some. Nice. Alrighty. Yeah. It's just me kind of like opening tabs in the universe, essentially. Right? That if I'm going to have the capacity to do things online, I can do them online anywhere. A, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. I don't know if you're here anymore with me, but sup to you two friends. Nice having you. Sun King joining us, saying morning, amigo. Morning to you. It's nice having you as well. And Trey V said, I'm gonna give you shit cause there ain't no thumbnail today. I did. I'm pretty sure I did upload thumbnail. I wonder if I can do it from here. It's on there. No, I can't. I can't. No thumbnail vibes. Good morning to you too. You were gonna give him shit anyway. Troy Beef, don't lie. Uh, with friends like these, who needs enemies, right? There technically still is a little bit more left in there. Yeah. Yeah. Fascination. That is what we're trying to talk about today. Being fascinated. I'm trying to gauge in myself, have I become more or less fascinated over the years? Interestingly enough, I think if I had to answer this question, I would have to say I have become selectively fascinated. Right? It's like there is this capacity, this endless well when it's appropriate to do so. Right? When something is fascinating enough. And the thing that I'm thinking about right now. Hello. Goed yourself. Hallo, Woefie. Hallo. Ek sit. Is goed dat jy bietjie gaan stap. Sê is goed dat jy so 'n bietjie stap saam met die woefies. Ja, ek sien jou. So. Yes, ons trek nou einde van die maand uit dan, hè. Ek gaan terug huis toe in Gobbersdal. Ja. Ja nee, die inbraak is saam, is ons bietjie pay by die plekkie. Nee. Soos mense praat baie oor tannie se donkie ook, jy weet. Dis tannie se extra security guard wat tannie daar sou het ten minste. En die feit dat die oom dit nie wil glo nie. Ek weet nie, hy vertel vir ons is ons gewees. Dis maklik vir hulle, ja. Beams. Ons wil beams ook op gesit het, maar dis R18,000 om beams op te sit.
Langs die huis, ou tyres geplant. Sit en 'n kaktusse geplant.
Yes.
So nou moet hier as hy oorbreek, oor 'n tyre en kaktusse kom.
Want hulle het daarbo het hulle al die paaltjies uitgebreek, so ja. Ja, en die oom, jy weet, hy wil niks doen daaraan nie. Hy sal nie sy eie sekuriteit installeer nie. En dan iets kan van haar in die gratis sy stoor. O, ek het 'n program gegaan vir die jeugprogram en ek het liderlik skeef geloop. Ek het hierdie jaar bitter siek. Dis ek het nou nog nie kry. Ek was 4 keer geopereer van April maand af. Ek het breek klaagteels in kombuis. Ek ek neem foto's en ek kom. Dis ek van tot 'n breek stuk uit. Dis ek as ek val. Ek weet waar ek met my heup is. Ek skryf vir jou aan. Kom maak dit stil reg. Ons trein, ek weet net wat se populêre sy probeer, want ons trein waar dit moet toe gaan, het een keer gestop. Dis ek nou op die terug uit die boot by die gat gegooi. En moet jy reg. Hy doen niks hierdie ons het ceiling panels verloor met die wind saam. As ons is 'n gat in die dak, ons het maar bokse en goeders daarop gesit sodat die hitte nie in die huis in heeltyd loop nie.
Want hy het eendag vir die mense gesê wat hier bly, "Moet kyk hoe mooi is my plek en dat versorg my plek." En sê ek maar hierdie jaar so verskriklik siek is, dis ek vir ons albei, ek gaan nie daai kombuis vul nie. Ek het genoeg drama en hel gehad hierdie maand. So stuur ek vir sê kom kyk hierso. Jy het 'n plan maak en as ek hier seer kry, spoed dit voor.
Ja. Ja nee, die oom is op 'n mission, jy weet.
Eendag hierso.
Ek en Max is nog hierso ook saam met my. 'n vriend wat hierso ook saam met my is, maar
Van hulle een.
Max gaan vir 'n rukkie eers terug George toe, na sy maale toe ook. Die ander ou, John wat hier so saam met my was, hy trek saam met sy gitarist in. Hulle maak musiek saam. En tannie Charlene trek Kaapstad toe actually.
Wat haar man kan nou doen?
Sê weer?
Wat haar man kan doen met haar orkes?
Dit is nog steeds Stefan en John. So hulle werk basically saam met haar man, so hulle gaan saam met haar man gewoonlik van dieselfde plekkie af, ja.
Ek sê net nou Robbie, ek kom hom roep en sê, "Ma, dan ek het so fyn en vaart." Sy sê, "Maar ek kan nie roep nie." Ek sê, "Ek probeer dit hulle sê."
Ja, dit is nogal strippie dat hy net so jy random hier so opdaag.
Ja, maar en ek moet gaan oefening en stap. Ek moet gaan stap vir my. Ek gestap wat oor die algemeen altyd gestap, maar ver gestap. En dan het ek weer van heup begin regkry. Ek wil kyk hoe verraai my honde my.
Ja, dadelik is hulle favorite gaan hallo sê. Hallo. Sorry about that. Dan het 'n lekker dag hê Tannie. Oh. I got sidetracked a little bit. I got talked about the place we're staying. She told me about the break-ins that she's had at her place as well. Told me about how the owner of the place doesn't believe them when they have break-ins. That he had like there was like a drain that got opened or something, or it like spilled into the outside world, and he just pulled a boat over the hole where the water is spilling out, and he hasn't fixed it in 2 years. And I told her about the holes in our ceiling. It's kind of like the same situation. She was like giving me security tips about planting cactuses in tires around the perimeter, and I'm like, and then she was asking where we're all going. That was kind of nice. Basically, from a perspective or from a place of concern and making sure that we're going to be okay with where it is we're going next. So I told her where all of us are finding ourselves. We have a John here. Hey, John. It's nice having you. Okay, I'm scrolling back. This language Melt now speaks. What is it? It's Afrikaans. Yeah. Enkling. Enkling. Enkling is our word for actually. Actually, I'm an Afrikaans speaking person. I'm actually not English speaking. English is in fact not my first language. Not at all. Was never supposed to be. In fact, some people get bullied in my world for speaking English. I wasn't one of those, at least. I didn't get bullied. But I did watch English speaking people get bullied for being English speaking. I did watch that. I did see it. But at the same time, I prided myself in being able to talk to people. Right? And I was like, oh, there are people out here speaking English. And then I was like, I'll speak to them. Come hello, high water, I'll figure it out. So yeah, thank you friends for being patient with me. Sounds like Simlish to my ears. Glitchy, glitchy, yeah, yeah. Glitchy, glitchy, yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can. Less glitchy, glitchy. I do hope so. Mel, bless you. Another beautiful morning, my friends. Even more beautiful with you here with us, Bojo. I see a rabbit here as well. John says, Afrikaans really just is English with a very thick accent and some local slang mixed in. Afrikaans and English are pretty similar for the most part, you know. Like if for basic sentence structures, we do double some things up when we're like going into negatives and stuff, which is not the same as English. But if I go gaan dan toe, gaan, which is like go, dan toe, there too, gaan dan toe, go there too. Go there, right? So in that way, Afrikaans is very similar to English. Uh, where are you going? Waarheen gaan jy? Waarheen gaan jy? Where are you going? Similar in that way as well. Then we have like the negatives, which is a little bit different. If I say, I'm not going to do that, is there a double negative in that? I'm not going to do that. No, that's just the one not. We say, ek gaan nie dit doen nie. So we go like twice no's, like, I'm not gonna do that. No. Like that's literally the way we speak. What else is there? We have like some novel words as well. We do adopt some of our local African languages too, like Shongololo and Toktoki. Like we have some words like that have been transferred. Then we have this word called anglicisme, which literally means to take an English word and to just like force it into Afrikaans pronunciation. And I'm trying to think about words that are like that. Mm. Okay, so technically this is an old one, but words like engine, right? Words like engine. We say engine as well, right? Engine. I don't know. I don't even know if we have an Afrikaans pronunciation for that. I'm trying to think about a good anglicism. Bohem is not one. My brain is spacing. I'm sorry. With riveting content. Maybe part of me wants to actually kind of Google it. Best Afrikaans anglicismes. Yes, language. There we go. So, jij is een vermoeilijkheid. So okay, so these are like almost like sentence anglicismes. So, jij is een vermoeilijkheid, which means like you are in trouble, but you cannot really be een vermoeilijkheid, right? Like that doesn't really make sense in Afrikaans, but we like in trouble. Die trein is in, die trein het aangekom. Yeah, die trein is in, like the train is in when it like pulls into the. We don't say that. Die trein het aangekom. It arrives. It doesn't go into anything, right? But you do say the train is in. Jy moet die versoek in skrif doen. Jy moet die versoek skriftelik doen. Oh, these are like, come in, kom binnen, kom in. That's also one technically. Yeah. Most people. The correct phrase is meeste. Hierdie is oulike meisie. Hierdie meisie is oulik. Some of these are super bad. Like very, very bad. 'n Stuktaal. Kan 'n woordefrase of 'n uitdrukking of 'n sinskonstruksie of idioom wees wat direk uit Engels oorgeklank word. Yes, of course. Of course. Direct van Engels oorgeklank. When you sound it over directly from English into Afrikaans, that's an anglicisme. So my mind is trying to say to you that Afrikaans and English are so similar that we will like bastardize our own language, saying things the way the English say them, even though that's not the way we're supposed to say them. English definitely has become a part of us. Okay, I'm back. It's a dying language. It's only spoken by some in South Africa. True. This is true. There's, I think, only 10 million Afrikaans speakers on planet Earth. So it's not exactly a good language to learn. I just happen to speak it because my parents did, and my family does as well. I speak English and Spanish. That's pretty cool. So I appreciate when a person can speak more than one language. Our brains are literally computers. You can see Mel as processing. Yeah, you have to process, especially when you're trying to translate. Especially when you're trying to like almost like inference data from your memory banks as well. Obscure information that you don't really use, especially. It's pitch black out and pouring raining here, which I normally wouldn't mind, but I got a dentist appointment in a few hours. The sun will be up by then. I am manifesting this with you. Yeah, pouring rain outside is nice if you don't have to go outside in the pouring rain. A Faith Hunter, that's a pretty cool username. Hi to you too. I'm seeing your messages now. Faith Hunter, hunting for faith. My mind is trying to calculate whether or not such a thing is possible. Can I hunt for faith? If you are a faith hunter, what does your prey look like? Do you hunt for things that give you faith? Or do you hunt for things to have faith within? Yes, considerations. Today's stream topic, we do like a little bit of a stream topic every single day. It's about being fascinated, right? So I have to add some fascination to your username just to keep the topic relevant. If you're seeing this, me, that is, for the first time, do subscribe. I do one of these streams every single day. If you check the title, you'll see it says something something day 1421 or something like that. That means I've been doing this consecutively for as many days. And I plan on doing it indefinitely till I'm no longer on planet Earth. That is the commitment I've made. All right. So do sign up for the ride. I look forward to seeing you friends again. Mm. The owner doesn't believe. Back up again. The owner doesn't believe them about the break-ins. Oh shit, you guys have the same landlord? He's the owner of this entire piece of property. He's like banked. Right? Mans has more money than he'll need for the rest of his life. It does help that the rest of I shouldn't say shit like that. Stop. You can't say stuff like that, bro. That's very mean. You're like, what did you want to say, Mel? I wanted to say it helps that he's already like pushing 80. So having enough money for the rest of his life isn't hard. Stop saying something. Stop it. Yeah. However, that being said, his son is definitely like looming around. His son is like really like rubbing together his like dirty little mittens in anticipation of inheriting this place. And they used to be like ex-police, both of them. They used to be police officers. And the fact that there's like zero security, I don't know if that's the universe like almost playing a trick on them. But I'm the joke. I'm the joke. Or they're the ones that is actually, responsible. Which is again, speculation. I cannot prove such things, and I'm not saying that that's how it is. But it does. It does definitely like drive a stake into your mind of whether or not you can trust people. That has been an experience, definitely. Melt is dangerous. No. I think I missed a few comments up top. I'm cold this morning. 18 degrees Celsius. That is not bad. I almost had to put socks on. We're buried under feet of snow. Goodness, yeah, that is a little bit worse. I have never seen so many vehicles stuck in giant piles of snow as I did yesterday. Jeebs. I don't know if that's a fun thing to see. I'm sorry that you had to witness such a thing. It felt so much warmer after reading that. Oh yes, giant piles of so many vehicles in giant piles of snow. Suddenly, the fact that I have my scarf completely wetted because I'm kind of cooking here feels good actually. One of the creators I follow in Spanish as a first language, and he tried to start an additional channel for Spanish only. He said he had to abandon it because there are words he uses every day in English but had never used in Spanish, and he had no idea of the translation. It is definitely a challenge. I think I would be able to translate most of the words I use in Afrikaans. However, it would be uncomfortable. As ek ewe skielik begin Afrikaans praat met julle, voel dit vir my asof ek iemand anders is. Right? If I suddenly start speaking Afrikaans to you, it's like I'm someone else to myself. in speaking to you. Morning, Mel. 38 Fahrenheit and rising here in Texas. Hey, Krallen. It's nice seeing your name here again, friend. I don't know Fahrenheit's. I'll have to do a conversion. But that doesn't sound. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a little bit cold. 38 Fahrenheit. That's one to stay inside, one to not go outside kind of temperatures. Hmm. And all the others. Melt is it dangerous where you are? It's dangerous if you're a piece of property, but it's not dangerous if you're a living being, I would say. All right. I have not been like murdered, which is great. I like that. But my house has been broken into while I'm sleeping, and my things have been getting stolen. All right. So, but I'm moving. Literally, by in 8 days. In 8 days, I'm no longer going to be here. So, slowly but surely, the new page is being turned. Meld, when you hear people speaking Dutch, can you understand much of it? Yes, I can. I won't say much of it. I can understand like 60. Maybe that is much. And if a Dutch person and me had to meet one another, and we had to, and I have done this. I actually met a Dutch person in Shanghai when I was doing my recertification for my paperwork, my documentation. I met a Dutch person there, and me and him had a conversation. Me speaking Afrikaans, him speaking Dutch, and sometimes you'll have to like say something another way for it to make sense to them, but you can communicate. Sounds a lot like Dutch to me. It is very, very similar. Grew up hearing Dutch and German. I meant to say jokes in Spanish when translating into English are no longer funny. Yeah, there is definitely some sort of power in delivery, and certain languages deliver things differently. Like Afrikaans as a delivery system is very direct and to the point, like not like German in that way. I wanna say almost like more rude, more wild. You know, I'm not trying to compliment the language. It's kind of like it's a rude kind of thing. It's like it's like a rough. It's like a roughness. I think rough is better than rude. It's rough. It feels very rough as a way of speaking. Sun King, did you know it also works in reverse of racism? Speedy Gonzalez, the cartoon, was racist in English, but in Spanish he's a winner. A Mexican fan club saved Speedy from cancellation. How about that? Think, just like the way we use language, what we use, what we say. I wonder if some languages lend themselves to racism more than others, right? Like there definitely is some languages that lend themselves better to the description of certain things that they encounter a lot in their worlds, right? Like I believe the Eskimos, I don't know if that's an insensitive thing to say as well. The people that live in the Atlantics, no, in the Arctics, they have like a bunch of different words for a bunch of different types of snow, right? And to me, that's bonkers. I have never seen snow with my own two eyes in my life, right? So I would never have needed any words for snow in that way. So, yeah, there's definitely something to consider there. Something, fascinated. Yeah, fascinated with language today, it seems. High fives to everyone. Woo! Gotta run off to work. Love you, Louisiana. Good luck. In the southern east of the US, when we feel sympathetic for others, some say, bless your heart. But in the north, some say it sarcastically to make fun of you. Like, oh, bless your heart. Like, oh, shame. Shame, little baby. You're being a little shame, baby. You want my sympathies? Yeah, that cultural divide is, I don't know if it's a good one. I'm sorry, Amy. I hope you don't experience that much. Hey, I see Jovan. Worky Lurky love yous. We love you too. Sam, I did not know this. Thanks. Slash gracias. Melt has definitely come through on his mission, showing up daily for everybody. Yeah, Sun King. You have been joining us since I've been doing this, and it's been nice seeing you. You've become a nice part of this space. A friend. You've become a friend to me. Amy, that's just the utility of the phrase. My family uses it both ways, but it is widely acknowledged that if you need to politely tell someone to fuck off, a good bless your heart will suffice. Uh, Suddenly I got it. Suddenly it made like real sense to me. I was like, oh no, I think I get it now. That is wild. Mm, that's one morning now. Bless you again. Autocorrects to Kraken until it learns. Krell. Good morning, Kraken. Bless. That's funny. Kraken is in need. Screen name. We should just call you that now. Yes, Krellin. Very cool name. Krellin is pretty cool as well. Krellin the Kraken. Double whammy it. Said with respect, Krellin, of course. Release the Kraken. I wonder if some languages lend themselves to racism more than others. Probably Japanese. Yeah. Like the Japanese got like bamboozled by by reality a little bit, right? Because they already had like this thing going on about like being divinely orchestrated, like God chose them. And then they were like attacked by the Mongols. Like, do you know about the Mongols? If you don't know about the Mongols, you should find out about the Mongols. But they were like they had some ambitions. And among those ambitions were taking the Japans. And they got they got wrecked literally by massive storms, by oceanic events. Their ships got cast against the rocks, with absolute reckless abandon. And then the Japanese had it like really ingrained in them that like God is on their side, quite literally. Because how can you not believe that? If your entire empire gets saved twice, two times, right? 7 years apart by absolute like bonkers nature events, right? Like just suddenly, oh wow, we're getting wrecked. Like we're done. Literally, I think something like 70,000, 70. No, it's more than that. It's more than that. I think the first raid was 70,000, and the second one was like 200. Hundreds of thousands of human beings just like died on sea. Their ships got wrecked before they even touched land, before they got to even fight for anything. They just got wrecked. Oh my goodness. Do you know about the Mongols? Yes, I did in fact play Ghost of Tsushima. I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima. I didn't play that game. I watched an Oompaville video, interestingly enough. Oompaville has been a source of history for me. That sounds like such an absurd sentence to say. Sam, good question. Hey, Kristen is here. Drive by Lovins from Connecticut. Kristen has landed safe and is sending us some of her blessings. Hey, Kristen, it's nice having you here. Have a good time. Bring the good vibes to Connecticut just by being who you already are. Good question. Amy says to Sam, I was talking to someone about this yesterday, thinking of some gig placing international students here, and she said miscommunication is the highest problem in families. And this I can agree with. Miscommunication is the highest problem in my family, and we speak the same language. All right. So I feel like that does check out. Makes absolute sense to me. Have a beautiful day. Bless you, Amy. Have a good one too. It was nice to have you friends here so present for these moments. Even though I'm not directly in the sun, even just the fact that I can feel beams reflecting off of the trees and the bricks and the sky, even that causes me like some low hum base level of pain. This thing got dried. Part of me wants to go and add some more moisture to it again. Fascinated. Fascinated. I am fascinated with the idea of a supersuit. Have I told you? Have I told you about my idea for a supersuit? And if you're an incredibly intelligent person, which I believe you are, and if you're incredibly rich, which you might not be, I'm trying to get there as well, right? Please, for the sake of all our species, make me a supersuit, right? We can sell it eventually, of course. But essentially, it should be like a skin tight suit that has piping, micro piping that runs most of its surface area infrastructure over your palms and over the bottoms of your feet. And then it has like a little conditioning unit that goes here down your lower back, right? And basically just conditions, outputs heat. Maybe it can output the heat on like the surface level, and maybe you can do it like on the lower levels, like your legs, so the heat doesn't hit your face as much. But I want super suit. It doesn't have to have a cape. It doesn't have to have a cape. Make me a super suit. Edna mode has entered the chat. Hey Sam, don't threaten me of a good time. I will literally like cook for Edna mode. I will I will draw her warm baths and light candles. I will put nice fancy salts in her bathtub to get super suit from Edna mode. No capes. I don't even like capes. I used to have a cape as a child. And you know what? I didn't share this story in the moment, right? I did share a little bit of this story with I think Joy Viv and Sam earlier. Not today, earlier, a long time ago. But I told them about the story that my mom made me a Batman cape. It was all black. It had like a Velcro little sticky bit in the middle, and I could put a cape on myself. And I told these friends about this cape that I had. It was a nice story to share. What I omitted to share of this story is why I never wore a cape since then. And it is because I found out the hard way that no capes, no capes makes sense. Because I was also very into bike riding as a child. So I got on my bicycle and I, of course, had my cape. And in my mind, surely, it makes sense to have my cape flutter in the wind as I'm riding my bike. Of course, that's what needs to happen. But what ended up happening is that my cape got trapped in my wheel and got ripped off of my neck. At least it had Velcro tear off tabs, you know, at least. But yeah, then my cape had a bunch of holes in it because it got mangled between the gears and the wheel and the momentum of going forward. And then I wasn't really into the capes that much. And then the Incredible movie came out, and I felt me and Edna Mode would be like best homies. I know it. Did I see melt legs? You didn't see anything. This is not melt leg. This is scarf right here. This is. I'm not wearing short pants because I don't have any. I know I'm wearing long pants that look like skin at the bottom. Batman cape got wrecked. Yeah, it got very wrecked. At least it's cooler on the farm. All that greenery around absorbs the sun rays. It's true, Joy Vive. It's significantly cooler. Significantly cooler on the farm. Mel takes the Brooklyn for super suit. To your landlord, he can fund this. Bro, my landlord isn't funding anything. He's not even funding the upkeep of his own properties. He's not funding the security thereof. The only thing he's funding right now is himself. I wanted to say something mean, but just himself. He's not gonna give any of his money away, bro. Melt friends, I got to go. Boss giving me the side eye. Bless you, Sun King. Thank you for joining us for a moment. It's been a healthy year for you here, Mel, so I must ask, what lessons will you be taking back with you? A few. I think I have a few lessons that I'll be taking back with me, Sam. I think amongst the most important was that I am very capable of taking care of things. Sorry about that. I Something was bothering me for a second. I am very capable of taking care of things. Right? And I feel like that's a lesson that I needed to learn the hard way. Because all of my previous instances have been very I want to say the word convenient. Maybe not convenient, maybe just synchronous, right? So I, through this journey of becoming an adult, moved out directly after high school, got myself a job, got into a relationship, and did that for a year, right? Was in a relationship, was in a stable job. And then I was like, this feels very unclimatic. And then I complained about that to the universe. And then the universe was like, okay, bet, come to China. And I went to China. And then my housing was taken care of, and electricity and water, and I got paid a salary. Again, I had that stability, I had that security, and I could take care of things, right? And then I came back to South Africa. And the first year of doing this, I didn't think I should be doing it for money. Because if I was doing it for money, the way that I've been trying to do things in my life before, I was going to end up hating it, right? And I knew that. So I was like, okay, no money for the first year, right? To almost like establish it in my own like mental infrastructure. Bye, Kristen. We love you. To establish it in my own mental infrastructure that this is something I'm actually doing for love. And then through this process, after that first year with the yoga and with the Patreon and your friends' support, I've been able to make at least some money, doing what it is I love doing. And then I met John, this friend, and he was very encouraging of all of the things that I want to do, right? All of the things that I'm going to love doing, right? And wanted uh, he wanted more. He wanted more than I was seeing for myself in that moment. Let's just say it in that way, right? And then I moved out, and I moved here, and then I had to provide more than I thought I would need to, right? Because when you plan for things, there definitely is this idea you have in your mind of how things are going to be, right? And for me, especially, since I'm not making a lot of money, I'm making 300, if I'm very lucky, $400 a month, right? Like that doesn't go a long way. And then to have moved here and to have like kind of budgeted, to have like figured out that maybe I could like save $50, maybe I could save $100 if I'm really careful with the way I'm buying food, to realizing that that's not even remotely possible because I'm not the only one eating, right, in that way. And then to realize that yes, that is something that's very uncomfortable to me, especially as a 26-year-old still kid having to feed other people. It's not something that I wanted to do, right? But it is something that I showed me I was capable of. And I feel that was a lesson that I could have only learned in doing that, right? And maybe a higher dimensional way of seeing it is I have learned how to lose this year, right? With the theft definitely didn't help, right? The theft definitely did not help. But I have learned how to lose. And I don't know if I have been gracious in all that I've lost this year, I think I've complained a little bit. I have complained a little bit, and I try not to. I don't think complaining is helpful necessarily, and I think complaining can sometimes make you friends potentially feel uncomfortable. So it is something that I've been trying to be very vigilant of. But I'm still just a person and I fall short. I fall short sometimes. So, yeah, I think that's the biggest lesson. That's the biggest lesson that I've learned. I've learned that I can be very, very calm in my approach to the universe, right? That I know this life that I'm here to live, this journey that I'm a part of, is not one that I have to speed run, that it's not going to get away from me, that me taking my time to do things the right way, right? Me taking the time to wait for my technology to catch up with me. And that sounds pompous. And it's because it is. It 100% is. And it is a bad excuse if it's not just pompous. But it is what it is. All right. I want metal 3D printers, but I don't have $50,000 right now. So something's got to give. I'm going to have to spend some time waiting until I can acquire all of the tools that I want as a part of my life. And that isn't a bad thing. That's what life is. That's this journey that we're a part of, right? And I get to share it with you, friends, no matter how long it takes, right? And again, in hindsight, if you had to condense everything that I've been doing in my life, it will be an instance. You'll be able to look at it like a snapshot, like, oh, look at this progression as like a bar chart, like, makes sense. It's almost like that's the way the universe is. So in that way, I feel I've gained I've gained the right amount of perspective. I don't know if that's the answer you were looking for. So how do you feel about it? mm Love you again, Kristen. All right. I think this stream has reached its end. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me. Okay. Not just yet. You've shown up the best you know how, considering another creator I follow just lost her home to a fire. Complete loss. And she had no renter's insurance. She sounds like you, Melt, and speaks of the strength that she didn't know she had until she had to have it. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. The creator lost so much. That person, that friend of planet Earth, that child of Amagaya. I'm sure that the fact that she's a creator, she hopefully has at least somewhat of a societal net that can help catch her so she doesn't fall all the way to the ground. And that's what we've created, dear friends. Like, we have made that. And again, right? Like, I think I should say that as well. And I don't know if she said that in her covering of this topic, but you friends have been the strength that I didn't know I had in that way as well. Right? The fact that I can almost, for myself as well, rely on me being here to live stream every day brings me a state of comfort and solace. And like, okay, things are still okay. Things are still fine. I'm still showing up for love. Thank you, friends, showing up for love with me. I'm now going to go and flip this stream. I'll see you in the next one. I love you, friends. Goodbye for now.